You can't believe that this is Kampala, the capital city. My name is Chris, and I live in the biggest slum in Uganda. We might not have much money, but we know how to live. However, we have a very big problem: sanitation. When we have no proper sewers, poor garbage disposal habits, and the whole area keeps flooding. So how do we fix it?
What? Guess I'ma love this day. Killer Katuba Kubetuba when it is city. Fresh one, another heat. Shishanya, passion in a means. Guess I'ma love this.
Weyonje means clean yourself.
Waste is waste when you waste it.
Yeah, we are fresh and clean. To live because we want to win. We are fresh and clean, smart and wise, you know we want to win. Yeah, we are fresh and clean. We don't give up.
Sanitation begins with the self.
We are fresh and clean, smart and wise, you know we want to win. Yeah, your ranks fresh and clean. Come on, Ivan, fresh and clean, you know.
We are praying and praying. So let's eat. Sitting down with family, eating food, praying together. You get to know your children, you get to know their characters, you get to know probably their calling so that you don't oppose them as they grow. And it gives you a chance to understand everybody. I think the work I do with Weyonje is very important, but we're a small part of a big system. We have to make sure the local authority and the government are held to account.
Yes, welcome back from the break, and thank you so much for watching. Now, there is a group that came up with the Weyonje initiative that targets to boost sanitation in some communities around Kampala suburbs. Welcome, Mr. Tumwine Christopher. Good afternoon, boss.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, briefly, what is Weyonje?
First and foremost, Weyonje is a Uganda word which means clean yourself. We brought that initiative to teach people to cater for their hygiene and sanitation through their own practices. One would have called it the ghetto center, where all the gamblers are, all the marijuana smokers are, and then we see what kind of life prevails down there than the one you're seeing on the tarmac. And then we see how probably we talk to them concerning sanitation and hygiene. So this is a church sitting on top of garbage, and we are going to move inside the church. It is soft as if you're moving on a mattress, but a mattress of garbage. It's not a good toilet, it's not a good setting all at once. Garbage is a health hazard. It affects life. It is a source of diseases. You can't sit on top of diseases. We're with the pastor. So we've been here several times. Probably would like to hear from him.
He has been trying to advise and talk about health of the community, but we are trying to raise up the toilet, not only for the church, but the toilet which is going to help the community.
They call me the mayor for the slums. I was born in one of the biggest slums in Kampala called Kamoja, and I have lived there and I still live there. Despite the fact that I'm a mayor, I would have opted to go out of that slum. However, I want to live in the slums so that I become a clear example to the people in the slums on what they should do, so that I lead by example. There are responsibilities that can be done at individual level, and there are responsibilities that can be done at government level. It is integrated. If one doesn't do his role, then a challenge will come. One of the biggest challenges we have with the people is complacency. People get used to the situation, and because they get used to the situation, then they see no reasons of changing such a situation. So it is our responsibility for us to go and do enforcement. That is a pastor, a leader in society. He should be the first person to talk about proper sanitation.
We are back with the team. We are going for a toilet demolition back to the church where we were yesterday. We've come to execute it right now.
I think what they're doing now is right.
It's right because of their work, but it's painful because it has been done in the time which I'm not ready, and I don't know now what is next.
What toilet will you use?
Now we don't have now.
When you take somebody from his comfort zone, you don't expect happiness. We tried psychologically to bring it to his notice and then to make him believe it. So he can't be happy because we are giving him a new task which requires resources. Okay? That's why we are doing it in a harmonious way. We are talking to him as we do the work. Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't frustrate him. He can be a little bit frustrated, but we reduce the degree. Yeah. Always the right has no alternative. If it is eating, you can't sleep without. If it is defecating, you have to defecate in a toilet. There's no alternative. Yeah. We just have to tell you that this is the right. The Wenje team was formed by the Kampala Capital City Authority. The community first rejected. You tell somebody, you know what, clean here. Somebody asks you, who are you? So we spend a lot of time teaching them who we are. Then from who we are to what they are supposed to do. Then from what they're supposed to do, who are those that have refused to conform. Then finally engagement of public health officials and others.
There's great improvement. People that welcome the project, the program. My dream, I want our community to be clean, whereby if you pass around, you cannot see anything smelling, and to reduce number of people going to hospital because of eating dirty, touching dirty things.
Ebyobuyonjo bya mugaso nnyo okuva dda nti omuntu bw'abeera omuyonjo abeera mulamu kyekisooka. Olina okubeera ng'oli mulamu, bw'obeera omuyonjo obeera mulamu. Ate n'abantu ababeera naawe babeera beenyumirizaamu ggwe kubanga oli muyonjo. N'ekifo ekyo kiyingiza abantu bangi kubanga oli muyonjo. So nfuna nnyo okulaba nga nange neekwatiramu ng'omukyala ne nnongoosa okulaba nga mbeera muyonjo.
So these people are collecting all plastic bottles for other purposes, as we are going to see.
Welcome to the Ghetto Research Lab.
I hear the calling, they understand.
We are over 400 youths. We use the available resources. There would be the waste, we use the waste to create jobs. Hence, we are creating sustainability in the ghetto. Then, the other major overwhelming purpose is to conserve our environment, to save our environment. We work with Wei on Jay on different projects because we are birds of the same feather. We get the polythene. This is the polythene. We fix this polythene inside these bottles to make them tough and become a brick. One bottle like this one contains from 200 to 300, even more polythene bags. But this is the only toilet in this ghetto that has no smell. Normally, we have a bucket here, but it's not here right now because they have taken to decompose the gold and they bring it back. And we use our gold, we don't call it shit. No, we don't call it shit because we think it is as usable as the time when we were taking it inside. Yes, so we use our gold and recycle it to make the original manure that has carbon and nitrogen. Waste is waste when you waste it. Yes, but if you treat it, you can use it. Now this one is now soil. You see? This is the gold now that qualifies to go to the plants. We pack it and sell to farmers at a cheaper price.
One of our plans we have as the Wei on Jay team is to implement what they are doing. If we could transform what they are doing on a small scale to the real world, we wouldn't even have had people collecting garbage from us. They would have been collecting manure everywhere. We could be the major suppliers of greens all over the country, just using this space for garbage decomposition and gardening, sack gardening.
The authority now is putting the issue of public health as a priority. And in the budget, we are now allocating more money to the aspect of management of proper sanitation in the city. We couldn't do it alone. One of the institutions that we have developed partnership with, for example, is Water Aid. Water Aid is taking me for training as a politician so that I enhance and help other politicians to appreciate the importance of good sanitation and to help them change attitude and approach. It all begins with good leadership. So that is why it will help build the required political will for sustainable urban water sanitation and hygiene needs.
For the last 2 weeks, we have not been sleeping as a team because we have been planning for all these the activities because we are a group of young people who are trying to promote hygiene in our area.
If we can really organize something that can call our fellow youth so that we're on the same page, I think it's just amazing. If that energy is behind all the efforts that we invest in sanitation and hygiene, I think we shall travel 1,000 miles just in a second. Because ekirala kyandibadde kiddako tulina declaration eno nti nga bwe tusibye mu musana okuva ku makya mpaka essaawa eno tetuli baloge wabula twasazeewo obusazi tubadde tusaba tweko meeting oba mu luzungu kyetuyita declaration nti ng'ekyalo we as the citizens of Kamocha with our leaders, landlords and tenants on our houses, we pledge to keep our toilets clean, and those who don't have them to build, and we take it as an initiative of our own to keep those toilets clean.
What does Weyonje mean? If we want our communities to be clean, cleanliness, hygiene, proper sanitation begins with you. Christopher Liludawa. I know it's the responsibility of government to champion proper hygiene and sanitation. So I want to honestly and sincerely thank you for the work you have done individually as a member of Kamoja. This movement that you have started, let it go beyond Kamoja. Let it go beyond yourself. Please continue.